Hey guys, it's Becca Pace here. Thank you so much for joining this 20-minute cardio sculpt workout. This is going to be a lower body focus. We're going to be on the board for the majority of this workout. We're going to be working with booties. But before we do that, let's warm up. So let's take our feet a little wider than shoulder distance, stretch your arms all the way up to the sky, and right away, elbows slide into the inner knees for a little groin stretch. Feel free to shift here from side to side. We're going to keep this warm up pretty limited so we can dive right into the meat and gravy, if you will. But from here, guys, lift your hips, drop your head, and walk on over to your right leg for just a gentle hamstring stretch. Want to get the legs ready to go for this slide board workout. Come on over to the other side. This is going to be a really great way to set up a good foundation for those conditioning exercises on the board to get into those lateral lines of the body. Coming back to the center, guys, heel and toe your feet in, roll yourself up to standing, and let's go into a couple little hip pivots. Just let your arms kind of twist, free up your back, your shoulders, and make sure you're pivoting the hip to wake up the front thigh muscles. All right, y'all, let's take it to hands behind the head. Chest is going to open. You'll draw your elbows down, round out your back a little bit. Give me two more like this, just a little chest opener, lower back release. One more time, you can take a deep breath in and then let it out. All right, guys, as you come up to standing, let's give our heels a little kick to our booty. And then we're gonna grab our booties and kick them over our shoes. So I'm gonna make my way over. You guys can feel free to sit down to put your booties on, or you can simply bend it on over and slide them over your shoes. Whatever feels good for you. We'll be starting with 1 foot off the board, 1 foot on the board. So without further ado, everybody, first lunge series, keeping all 10 toes facing center, slide down and slide up. So our side lunge series is a great way to wake up the inner thighs. You can start with your hands on your hips. Let's focus on driving that right hip all the way back. We want to keep the knee in line with our shoelaces. So we're here for 1 minute. You can place your hands again behind the small of your back. What I want you to focus on is really driving that standing foot through the floor. Let's be careful that our moving foot isn't starting to turn out. See if you can really keep those feet parallel to one another. We're about halfway through, and we'll go into our second section. So we're basically going to layer our moves today so that we can really get a good lower body burn. Now, when you're coming into this side lunge, think about now pushing down into the board to create a little more resistance into that inner arch. So you're going to feel your inner thigh sort of waking up a little bit more, heating up a little bit more. And let's again make sure the standing knee is streamlined over the toes. 15 more seconds here, setting up a nice foundation for ourselves. In 10 seconds, we've got our second little variation where we'll come down into our low lunge in 3, 2, 1. I want you to pause here. Bring your leg in and out. We're going to stay low and hold this for 30 seconds. So the in and out might be the secondary. We might not think about it that much because the standing leg is going to start to catch on fire a little bit. Dig deep, push your heel through the floor, and try to keep opening your chest forward. So we're keeping our spine tall. Maybe we got a neutral neck and your focus is out in front. And guys, we only got about 10 more seconds. Time flies, yeah? Keep your weight grounded into that standing heel. Give me 5 more seconds. We'll put these two moves together in 3, 2, 1. Let's stand up, slide out, in, out, up. So we're just gonna piece these two together. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to feel my standing foot working. So I'm really gripping towards the inner arch of the foot. And that's just great. We're strengthening our feet, our ankles, our calves. So we're about halfway through. As we do this combination for a minute, feel free to draw your shoulders back. Really think about lengthening through your spine. And we're moving through this like gusto. We are over the halfway threshold, everybody. Let's get into that quad a little bit more. 15 seconds, and we have our final section to kind of wrap up this series. So let's finish strong here on this in and out for 10 more seconds. As this leg starts to catch on fire a little bit more, I really need you to ground your foot. Really keep the knee over the toes. In 3, 2, 1, here's our challenge. Let's reach forward and we add a pulse. This is where this leg starts to scream. It's screaming a lot. So keeping that pulse going, everybody. Maybe hip goes back a little more. Reach your arms forward a little more. We're nearly through. Just 10 more seconds to pulse it out. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up, get the heck out of there. Maybe shake out that leg a little bit. Woo! Now step both feet onto your board carefully with your knees bent. Let's resume our skater position. and slide it out. Let's get into a groove here. Let this be the cardio portion. We have 1 minute and 30 seconds allotted for this slide. So what I want you to do is get into a groove. And when you start to find the rhythm with your physical body, start to recognize where your breath is coming into play. Breathing is going to be a huge factor to keep yourself in the zone and so that you're not losing your breath too much. But obviously, the heart rate will start to rise, so we want to let that happen. We're 30 seconds in. 1 minute to go. Now, maybe the cadence comes with your breathing and you inhale to one side and out on the other. Something to think about. It becomes sort of methodical. But this is great, everybody. You've got about 30 seconds to go. Really crushing it. Heart rate is rising. And as we're going into our slide, we're getting a little of that heat out of our standing leg from our first side, prepping for the other side to come. All right, guys, in 15 seconds, you're gonna meet me on the left, and we'll balance out that lunge series. Let's finish this nice and strong. Chest open, shoulders back, 10 more seconds. That's it. All right, in 5 seconds, meet me on the left. In 3, 2, 1. Let's stand up, and we'll step off the board. So you're gonna hug your bumper again, and let's get into our first side lunge on that second side. Remember what we talked about on the first side? Let's match it here. So we have 1 minute. First lunge of our little 4-section series. Shoulders back, chest forward. Let's again make sure the hip, the knee, and the toes are right over that heel. Think about sending your booty back to a tiny little chair, but you only want to sit on it with your left booty cheek. All right. So 30 more seconds. Maybe you start to press the insole of the foot down more, create some resistance to fire that right inner thigh. 15 seconds to go. We have our in-out. Second section. Keep a neutral neck. 5 more seconds here. All right, we're gonna resume that nice low lunge, hold it, and let's bring the leg in and out. So we have our 30-second hold. This is where we start to bring that fire into our second side. Hands can start to float behind the back. Maybe the elbows start to pull up towards the sky more, presenting your collarbone and your chest more open. Okay, so in 15 seconds, y'all, we're gonna put these 2 moves together. Again, layering, starting to build our endurance and our strength. 10 more seconds in and out. Keep your toes facing front. In 5 seconds, let's combine. 3, 2, and 1. So we stand up, come on down into your lunge. In and out, and then really press to the inner arch of that foot. So I want you to focus on keeping the knee straight as you come up. And then maybe you add a little extra gusto at the top. So you're squeezing your standing booty cheek, boom, at the top. I also like to imagine there's like a magnet, boom, pulling the inner thighs together at the top. So you're creating that resistance for yourselves. We've got about 15 more seconds here. I'm already looking forward to that pulse, aren't you? Can you see the sarcasm in my voice? In 3, 2, 1, everybody, let's come down into our lunge. Reach for me, everyone. I've got ya. 30 seconds. Press through your heel, shoulders down, chest open, legs are catching on fire. 15 seconds to go. Heel is heavy. You can do it. We're in the home stretch with 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand up and shake out that second side. All right, sweet. Both feet back on the board. We have our 1 minute, 30-second interval. We're back to our skaters. So again, utilize this opportunity. Yes, we're working our cardio here, but this is also kind of a relief for our activated muscles that we just fired up. Quads, glutes, hamstrings, all of the things. So find a rhythm in your breath and start to find a little zone. Maybe your arms want to start to move here. We move a little bit more into our sprints. You have 1 minute, yeah? This is a great opportunity to kind of get lost in your own rhythm. So personally, I like to find a little point to stare down at and kind of just let my body groove, right? If you got some beats playing, your favorite songs, jam out to those. You are in the home stretch with 30 more seconds, either in your skater or your sprint. Maybe you start to pick up that tempo. We've got our second section of conditioning coming up in about 15 seconds. Let's push this through. We've just passed the halfway point, by the way, everybody. I want you to put that in your head. You've been working hard for 10 minutes, I should say. Let's finish this strong. In 10. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a breath. We're gonna turn. I want y'all to step your right foot off the board and pick up your left heel. We're going into a back lunge. For now, hands can be on hips. Take a breath. And now slide back and see if you can extend the knee. So I want you to focus on pushing through that front foot, but keeping the back knee as straight as possible. So we want to open up our hip flexor and sort of lengthen our hamstring and quad here as well. Okay, if you want more, let's fold the arms up and then press the palms back. We're about halfway through. So this is a great opportunity to find a little mobilization in your upper body and to maybe open up that hip if it's feeling tight. All right, guys, 15 more seconds. Side number 1, back lunge. Abs stay strong. Let's go down and up 2 more times. Woo. One more time. Okay, much like we did before, let's bring our hands to our hips. We're gonna bring the leg in and out. Let's stay low. Maybe you take a little hinge over that front thigh. Front thigh is doing a lot of work here. Abs are braced. We're 15 seconds in. Shoulders down. Try to really push through the back line of that moving leg. In 5 seconds, everybody, let's combine these two again. 3, 2, 1. Stand up. Let's slide back into our lunge. Pull the toes in, out, stand up. So give me 2 more with just your hands on your hips, and then we'll add a little armography. One more time. Okay, now, as you go back, bring your arms up, press, reach, keep them up. Yeah. Press, reach, feel the stretch. We're gonna be here for about 30 more seconds. Front leg feeling a little heat. So I need you to really work through it. Plant your roots, know your strength, feel that endurance. 2 more. 1 more time. Okay, turn to the front. Shake it out. All right, we're gonna carefully, again, step upon the board. Start in your skater. We have 1.5 minutes. Take this opportunity to get into your own zone. All right, I'm here with you. We've got a good groove going on here. You have the opportunity here to push your speed, to push your depth. If you want to take it to that sprint, I encourage you to try that at any point. And maybe it's just for like a 10-second interval. We're here for another minute. So you definitely have time to play around and challenge yourself. Find the edge here and push towards it. We're about 40 seconds to go. I'm gonna start to add my arms here as well. If you are gonna choose to sprint, let's pivot forward, hinging at your hips. Let your chest sort of fall down towards your thigh muscles, but keep your abs strong. All right, 20 seconds to go. Eyes on the prize here. We've got our back lunge series second side coming up in 15 seconds. Breathe, everybody. 10 seconds to go. All right. You'll meet me on the left in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Turn it. We now step left foot off. Make sure your back heel is lifted nice and high. Let's go into our nice, slow, low lunge. So I want you guys to not only take this opportunity to feel the strength in your standing leg, the openness in your moving hip, but I also want you to catch your breath. Okay, hands can stay on the hips, or if you want to add a little something, bring your arms up and press your palms back. Finding a rhythm so you can really work in that mobilization, a little flexibility. Okay, inhale and exhale. Let's go 4 more together. And we want to really feel the footprint of that standing foot. 2 more times. And 1 more. Okay, your hands can come back to your hips. Slide the leg away from you. Let's stay low and draw the leg in and out. Now again, you may want to take this hinge forward a bit. Push down through that standing foot. Keep your abs strong. We've got just 30 seconds. We're already about halfway through that. So give me 15 more seconds here. Try to stay low. Stay grounded. 10 seconds. Tushy on fire. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just stand it up and let's combine. So we've got our back lunge. In and out. Back lunge to stand. Remember, you can stay just like this, but I want you to try to stack your shoulders over your hips. I've got a little hinge because that's just naturally what tends to feel comfortable for me. But maybe when you add the arms, you feel your torso kind of elevating a little bit here. And maybe that's where you're at. Okay. I'm gonna take this opportunity to kind of catch my breath. And we're gonna do this 5 more times together. Let's do 4. Definitely feel a little heat in both of our legs. Last 2. We've got our final one coming up here. Woo. Stand it up, turn it right around, and shake out that leg. Okay, we've got 1 more slide. Stepping on the board. Hips can go back. Take a moment, and we'll start in our skater. This is our last minute. 1 minute, everybody. So I want you to really push. You can stay at this skater if that feels good. If you're ready for more, let's pump it up a notch. We are in the home stretch with 20 seconds of work remaining. Let's go. Dig deep, guys. 15 seconds. You can do it. 10. Let's do it. All right, guys, in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand up, take a breath. Let's carefully step off the board. You can take a seat, or you can simply roll over and heel and toe to remove the booties. Meet me in the center. Take a breath, and then start to roll your shoulders back. Good job, guys. So we got about a 2.5 minute cool down to bookend this. Arms come up. I want you to fold your body forward. Bend your knees a lot. Drop your head and take a big nod, yes. And then straighten your knees. And now bend your knees and roll yourselves up. Do it again. Take your arms up to the sky. Take a slow body roll down. Knees are bent. Drop your head. Now straighten your knees and turn all 10 toes to your right side. Guys, feel free to prop yourself up on your shin or your quad. Otherwise, you can simply frame that front foot. Pull your hip away from your toes and melt your rib cage towards your thigh. Drop your head so your nose is pointing towards your knee. And guys, let's take 3 deep breaths here. Lifting from the belly button, drop your head, lengthen the back line of that right leg. 1 more deep breath. We're gonna stay facing this direction and take a big step back with our left foot. Open up your right so you've got a little space, and then set your back knee down and untuck your toes. So we're in a nice runner's lunge. Stay here. Take a breath. Now, if you want a little more, you can shimmy your way down to your elbows. Maybe the front foot turns out a bit to give yourself some space. I want you to open up your collarbone. Really think about lengthening your head. We're gonna catch our breath. We're gonna stretch things out for another 2 deep focused breaths. Try to let the weight of this hip pull you down. 1 more breath. If y'all are on your elbows, come on up to your hands again and lift your back knee. Let's, again, lift the hips, and maybe this time you flare your front foot. So we're gonna crawl through the center and just do that same thing in the other direction. So all 10 toes to your left. Let's pull the left hip back. Prop yourself up comfortably where you can get that maximum stretch. So maybe you're on your leg to hold yourself for now. Otherwise, if your hands can come on down, let it happen. We wanna melt towards the thigh and relax the back line of the neck. And we're gonna stay right here for 3 breaths. So we constantly wanna pull the hip away from the toes. That's just gonna give us a deeper stretch. All right, facing in this direction, guys, let's take a big step back with the opposite foot. You can shimmy a little bit here. And then I want you to ultimately set the knee down, untuck your foot, and let's walk the front leg out a smidge. So we have our action. The knee is heavy, the hip is heavy. Maybe you stay right here. If you feel like you've got the range of motion to make your way to your elbows, do that. Right, so if you are on your elbows, try to keep lengthening out of the crown of your head. And if you can, hug your left knee in towards your shoulder and your tricep. And we've got 3 breaths here, keeping the heaviness in our back hip. Whew, all right. I always like to say hips don't lie, my friends, and this is not a joke. All right, everybody, step up. Come back into your split stance. If it feels comfortable to flare your front foot, do it. And then last but not least, we're gonna make our way back to our inner thighs with our palms, lengthen the back, take a little twist, and then switch. And then as you come back to the middle, feet parallel, roll it on up, give a little twist. And as you come back to the center, guys, I want you to bring your hands together and give yourselves a hand. We all finished with this 20-minute cardio sculpt. Thank you guys so much. Stick around. I've got a recovery workout for you guys coming up next. I hope to see you guys there. Good job.